Good morning. Our lecture today about the foundations of selection. The main points for this chapter includes introduction to selection, the selection process, initial screening, completing the application, pre-employment testing, comprehensive interviews, conditional offers, background investigations, medical investigations, and job offers. The selection process is composed of steps, each of which provides decision makers with information that will help them predict whether an applicant will be a successful job performer. Actually, the selection process consists of 8 main steps, including first, initial screening interview. Step number 2, completion of the application form. Step number 3, pre-employment tests. 4, comprehensive interview. Step number 5, conditional job offer. 6, background investigation. Step number 7, medical or physical examination. And finally, step number 8, permanent job offer. As you see in this diagram, the selection process starting with the step of initial screening. And if the applicant failed to meet minimum qualifications, so we reject applicant. The second step is completed application. And similarly, if failed to complete application or failed job specifications, so we reject applicant. If the applicant is able to pass, so it's going to step number 3 and so on. Let us start to clarify very shortly the step related to initial screening process. So if the company's recruiting effort has been successful, they will have a pool of potential applicants. And the organization can eliminate some of these respondents based on the job description and job specification by doing an initial screening of potential candidates. Thus, this initial screening is in effect a two-step procedure. First, screening inquiries, and second, screening interviews. Completing the application. And in this case, we have weighted application forms, which offer excellent potential in helping recruiters differentiate between potentially successful and unsuccessful job performers as follows. Individuals' pieces of information are validated against performance, and the turnover measures and given appropriate weights. Data must be collected for each job to determine how well a particular item, such as years of schooling, predicts success on target job. Since information collected on application forms can be highly predictive of successful job performance. And in this case, it is very important to note that such forms must be validated and continuously reviewed and updated Data should be verified through background investigation. And after the phone screening interview, applicants may be asked to complete the organization's application form. That is a company-specific employment form used to generate specific information the company wants to be able to make right decisions. Thus, a company's application form gives a job performance related summary of what applicants have been doing, their skills and accomplishments. Legal considerations that should be considered in application forms include What about this legal consideration? First, don't mention any items that are not related or are not job related, such as religion. And you should include a statement giving employer the right to dismiss an employee for falsifying information and asking for permission to check work references, including and other experiences. Then, pre-employment testing. Pre-employment testing are very helpful in predicting who will be successful in the job. And there is a lot of tests can serve as selection tools toward measuring ability, skills, personality, and so on. Employers that recognize the investment in time and cost of these tests, combined with other selection tools and a well thought out hiring process, results in better quality hires. Many types of testing exist. We will cover a few of the most commonly used tests. Comprehensive interviews. Comprehensive interview actually are a selection device used to obtain in-depth information about a candidate, assessing his or her motivation, values, ability to work under pressure, attitude, ability to fit in where. Applicants who pass the initial screening, application form, and the required tests typically receive a comprehensive interview. So, applicants who pass the first three stages are required typically to receive a comprehensive interview. The applicant may be interviewed by human research management interviewers, senior managers within the organization, a potential supervisor, or some or all of these. However, it is very important to note that interviews are only as effective as those conducting it. And interviewing is often the responsibility of managers with little experience or training in how to interview or what to look for in an interview. And interviewers might have short and inaccurate memories. Thus, it is important to note taking and video taping may help in this case. Thus, note taking and videotaping may help in this situation. Conditional offer. If a job applicant has passed each step of the selection process so far, a conditional job offer is usually made. Conditional job offers typically come from an human resource management representative. The conditional job offers imply that if everything checks out, such as passing a certain medical or physical test, the conditional nature of the job offer will be removed and the offer will be permanent. Examples for some tests to be used or can help. Performance simulation tests. Which require applicants to engage in job behavior necessary for doing the job successfully. Work sampling. Which uses job analysis to develop a miniature replica of the job so the applicant can demonstrate his or her skills. Assessment centers. Which is a more elaborate set of performance simulation tests, specifically designed to evaluate a candidate's managerial potential. Assessment centers use procedures that incorporate group and individual exercises. Applicants go through a series of these exercises and are appraised by line executives, practicing supervisors, and or trained psychologists as to how well they perform. Background investigation. The next step in the process is to conduct a background investigation of applicants who are potential employees. Background investigation or reference check are intended to verify that information on the application form is correct and accurate, and this including references, former employers, education, credit references, and finally criminal records. Medical investigation. The next to last step in the selection process may consist of having the applicant take a medical and or physical examination. Job offer. Individuals who perform successfully in the preceding steps are now considered eligible to receive the employment offer. However, listen carefully for this question. Who makes the final employment offer? Actually, this depends on several factors. For administrative purposes, the offer typically is made by an HRM representative. The actual hiring decision should be made by the manager in the department where the vacancy exists. And this is for two reasons. First, the applicant will be working for this manager, and the second reason, if the decision is faulty, the hiring manager has no one else to blame. Now it is up to the candidate. And we mean if the organization selection process has been effective in differentiating between those individuals who will make successful employees and those who will not. The selection decision is now in the hands of the applicant. And in this case, or at this stage, A very important question to be considered. What can management do at this stage to increase the probability that the individual will accept an offer? Okay, here is some questions for discussion. To examine your understanding to this part. Thank you and good luck.